Welcome to the Bourbon Case Files. I'm Nick, and I'm here with my good friend Louis Berk from Louis Berk Law. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to do this.
Yeah,
Very excited.
So, before we get in, we're gonna taste some Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel today. But before we get into the bourbon, tell us a little bit about you. What do you do? What's your firm do?
Sure. So my firm, Louis Berk Law, is a firm here in Central Florida. We specialize in car accidents. We specialize in the Latin community. Been in this community now as an attorney for, this will be my 11th year, which is kind of crazy. And I've known you since literally the very beginning. So between you and Zach, you guys have truly, and I tell you this all the time, I tell Zach this all the time, you guys are my mentors. I've learned so much. Also, your wife isn't my kid's amazing. The favorite, the best pediatrician here in Central Florida. Best pediatrician here in the state of Florida.
So yeah, I mean we've known each other for God knows how long. I mean we used to work at another law firm together. When
2014. 2014, man.
That's crazy.
And now we're in 2026, 12 years. I mean it's wild to think that I'm going to be a barred attorney for 12 years. That to me it's crazy. And obviously you're like 40 years or something like that.
I'm a little bit older, I guess. That's true. So how long have you had your own practice now?
Since 2018, I started my practice. I left McBride 2018, and then I started my practice with a partner. We split up in 2019. 2019, I started Louis Berk Law, and so yeah, we're going on. Last year was 6 years, and this year we just turned 7 years.
Congratulations, man. That is awesome. And
I'm lying to you. We're in 2025. Last year was 5 years. This year we just turned 6 years.
Yes. That makes sense because I went to your 5-year anniversary party.
Last year.
Yes. We had some bourbon there.
We had a lot of bourbon. We had a lot of bourbon, a lot of cigars.
That's right. So I'm gonna pour us a little bit of this Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Have you had Elijah Craig before?
I'm sure I have, and if I've had it with you, most likely.
That's most likely. So you're more of a Scotch guy, correct?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, and am I the one that turned you on to bourbon?
You did. You did.
Excellent. And so I guess this Elijah Craig here, this isn't the regular small batch Elijah Craig. This is a one step up from that. And what they did is they took the Elijah Craig small batch, and when it's fully done, fully completed, they then put it in another barrel, a toasted barrel, a special barrel that added some complexity and flavors to it and aged it in there a little bit longer. And that's how we got the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. So
cheers.
Yeah, man. Definitely
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. It's good. That's good. What is the 94? What does the 94 mean on the...
So the 94 is the proof. So that's the proof, and then the alcohol volume is half that. So it's 47% alcohol. So it's not what's called a banger or a burner. It's not super hard. You can almost taste the it's almost like a toasty marshmallow like flavor with some caramel, right? Like when you're drinking it.
Yeah, I feel like my throat is on fire a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. You know what? So in there I have some I have some cubes. I figured we pull out the cubes, and put one in each glass here, man. And then we can kind of pour it on top and take a sip that way and see how the.
It's always fancy coming in here, man.
Yeah, how it changes the flavor a little bit. I try to do that. Listen, I mean, you're much better than I am at oh, no, maybe you're not much better than I am. There we go. You should have seen me in the last, when I was doing that, I kept dropping it. Finally, I had to stick my hand in there. So, we can just kind of, this will kind of, the cube will dilute it a little bit, take a little bit of that burn off, smooth it out. And then we'll see how that changes the taste. So Elijah Craig, again, I know you're not a big bourbon guy like I am, but Elijah Craig was actually a Baptist preacher, and he's considered one of the founding fathers of bourbon.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy. He actually pioneered the process of putting it in the new oak charred barrels. He was the first person to do that all the way back in 1789.
Let me ask you a question. Bourbon, right? Like Scotch is made in Scotland, bourbon always Kentucky or always the U.S. or how does tell me the backstory if you know?
Yeah, no. So we talked about this earlier. It's in the U.S. It has to in the U.S., but 95% is in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be in Kentucky. Bourbon's 51% corn, so a little bit. That's the key. It has to be 51% corn is the grain that it's made out of, compared to whiskey, which can be, different mash bills.
Malt and barley and
Yes.
all that stuff. That is literally the extent of my alcohol knowledge, or Scotch knowledge. Or I like to drink it. It's great. Again, you kind of got me into bourbon.
Yeah.
But what the ingredients are, I would have no idea. I just drink it.
Yeah. I feel like the first time that we got a bottle of bourbon together, we settled a big case,
Yep.
had a really good result, and we sat down and enjoyed a nice glass of bourbon together.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. No, it's fun, man. It's been honestly, it's been an honor. It's been a lot of fun working. At the very beginning, I wasn't litigating a lot of cases, at least on my own. Definitely was not trying any cases on my own. So I brought you on. And it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun growing with you, seeing your firm grow, seeing my firm grow, seeing us, take the next level in terms of our entrepreneurship paths. And it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been, it's one of those things where I never want to forget where I came from. I never want to forget, the path where I was literally 2019. And where you're, I think you left me probably like 2019, 2020, something like that, like right before COVID, right?
2019, yeah.
And to see where we are right now, man, it's pretty cool.
It is. It's it's been a fun, eventful ride, and obviously both our firms are still growing, and we still get to work together, which is great.
Yep.
Through this process, our wives have become good friends.
Yep.
and get to hang out. I love that. They both do charity work together, and you're very much involved in charitable contributions and giving back. And I don't know if you want to share a little bit about that, man, because you're one of the most generous people I know.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things where, big shout out to my rabbi, who is a huge part of my life, Rabbi Dubov here in Central Florida, and he's seen a tremendous growth, which has been a lot of fun to see. And one of the things that we've kind of learned together, grow together, is a lot of times people don't want to give until they make money. Let's say, right? They don't want to give charity until let me make money first and then I'm going to give, as opposed to the opposite mindset of let me give first and then I'll get, right? And so that concept, it's like almost like a secret to my success, even though to me it's not a huge secret, but it's at the point in 2019 when I started giving, and I used to give like $18 a month. Hey, listen, Rabbi, like all I could afford is $18 a month. And it started like that, $18 a month, and turned into 180, into 1,800, into 18,000, into 180,000, and literally just started growing. And that I literally see the more that I gave, the more that I received. And I wasn't giving because I was expecting, listen, if I'm going to give, I'm going to receive.
Of course not.
But it's wild how I've had situations where I've had cases that we could not settle them. Cases that for sure 100% they're going to trial. And then I made a big donation, and all of a sudden I get a call, hey, listen, we're going to tender this policy, or we're going to pay this. Or a situation where I made a big donation, and then all of a sudden we get 5 new cases the next day. And it's one of those things where the rabbi always tells me that when you give, one promise that God, at least in Judaism, we believe that the one thing that God said was test me, meaning with charity. If you give, test me, and you see you're going to get back. And when I tell you that it's been unbelievable, and the growth within my firm has also allowed me to give back even more. So last year, obviously you were there. We did the golf charity event where we gave back to the Verve kind. I believe that we ended up giving, this is my first ever charity golf tournament. We ended up giving $10,000, I believe it was $10,000 or $15,000 to the charity in my first inaugural event, which is amazing to be able to write a check to that foundation. Because of you, I'm also involved with Cannonball Kids Cancer, which is an unbelievable charitable organization. And the last couple of years, I've been grateful that I've been able to give at least 25,000. I think the last couple of years, which has been again amazing, just because I know how much that has an impact on the foundation and the kids, and to me, man, it's big to be able to give back to the community. It's big to be able to help out people around you, and to be a giver, and that's one of my favorite things to do.
No, that's great that you and your wife both, think that way and do that. Zach and I and our families are the same way. You want to take care of people in general, right? It's the right thing to do, and so I think that's awesome that you do that, man. And keep it up, man. How are you enjoying the bourbon?
You know what, actually, and I think maybe you know this already, but I prefer with a little bit of ice. So it completely changed. Like it's definitely not as not smoky, but it's not as
it's not as hot,
hard.
Right?
Yeah. It's pretty cool now. It's pretty cool. Like we could probably have 5 of these now.
I mean, I did absolutely. No, Elijah Craig, makes a very good bourbon. Obviously, at another episode,
very good.
We'll do we'll do some other bottles, from that distillery. Surprisingly, this is a very, very affordable bottle. They're small batch. I think it's about $30 MSRP. It's only $50 MSRP, and readily available. So unlike some of the ones we've had on prior episodes where you have to track down a friend that has it, this one you can go right in the liquor store and pick it up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I would say that my favorite still bourbon is still Jefferson's Ocean, right? Jefferson's Ocean, by the ocean or something. That's still my favorite bourbon. And we've had some pricier bourbons, and it's always interesting when you have, I think it's the same thing in the Scotch game, tequila game, where sometimes you go with the priciest ones, and sometimes the priciest ones are not as good as the cheaper ones. So I don't think necessarily there's a correlation between the most expensive is the best one.
You're 100% right. There's a certain liquor store around town that if you go into, they always try to move you into a certain product. Yeah. And it's funny because it ends up being their product. But it's not nearly as good as some of the $60, $70 bottles, and that bottle will be $125, $150 that they're trying to move you into. So you're absolutely right. It's a lot depends on the flavoring. Probably at some point I will have to have you back on. I'll have to open that Jefferson's Ocean since I know that's your favorite. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys for listening and stopping by. Please make sure to like the podcast, follow us, and we'll be sure to drop some links below to check some things out.